So hi, welcome to the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Emmyn from Games We Play.
and we're some questions to say about his new album, Life's Going Great. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
I feel really good. I was really nervous before it came out, but now that it's out, like I'm feeling confident. I'm ready to work it, you know?
Hell yeah, dude!
Hell
The
yeah.
album is so good. The wait was well worth it. It's
Absolutely.
it's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just like the opening song, the bass slide going into the first song, I had to listen to that multiple times before I even started the record because it just sets the tone for how fun
Hell yeah.
this album is, at least instrumentally, maybe not so much lyrically all the way through, but instrumentally it's a super fun listen front to back.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Of course. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, Life's Going Great was originally like a pretty ironic thing because as you said, like in some of the lyrics, life's going great is kind of totally like not what I'm saying in these songs, you know? It was kind of where my life like reached like I was going through such a hard time and I was like, wow, like what's a funny word to describe my life? And I thought it was that. And I remember I was like back and forth with some like really depressing titles like heavily misunderstood period or I don't know, something weird. And I'm so glad that I chose Life's Going Great. Both honestly both kind of meaning the same thing, but Life's Going Great has a lot happier of a sound to it. And now Life's Going Great, so I made that my album title and my life.
Hell yeah. I
Fuck
do
yeah.
like how the album title kind of wound up creating a double meaning for you, because obviously you mentioned, you know, going into it, it was kind of the sarcastic meaning, and now life quite literally is going great for you. I mean,
Mhm.
it seems like everything is going well over there, and you're opening for Fall Out Boy right now. So does life really get any better than that?
Not too shabby.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so crazy because Life's Going Great is not a positive song, but it's not me complaining about how bad my life is for sure.
Mhm.
It's more of a
Mhm.
F you anthem. I'm awesome.
Mhm.
And that was the last song made for this record, well after the title was made. So yeah, it kind of just worked out perfectly.
Was
Exactly.
that like when you talk last song, like after you went back into the studio to record more, or was that from the original batch of the songs?
No, that was the very literal last song I have written. Actually, I haven't written another song.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna start soon, but it's time for me to like make and promote this record.
Of
I don't
course.
blame you.
Yeah.
You deserve that. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah, I had like a Apple Note kind of open, and I was just talking about concepts. And my concepts I would bring to my friends who are much more talented, like lyricists and just better with words than I am. So I have the concepts, and I also have just this batch of like freaking melodies, that I would make. And one of the first ones that we made from that, I think, if not the first, was Untalented Friends. I could send you guys if you guys want to put it on the podcast, like the freaking melody demo that I have.
That would be fucking
Um,
rad.
Yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my process. And I have like 5 or 6 friends that are so talented. And, I dropped out in like 8th or 9th grade or whatever. And I don't think I like really finished learning how to use words properly.
Mhm.
I didn't read the amount of books that a normal kid my age who went through the public school system uh like read. So, I bring all my concepts to my friends, and they are really good at helping me put it into words. And then I add on. It's not fully them, but a lot of it is like my friends putting it into words from, them knowing my life experience. And that's kind of why I like to write with my friends,
Mhm.
because they know about me as opposed to just a random person I get in with that day.
Mhm. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
So you wrote this album with your circle of friends, and then it was recorded in the UK, correct? Entirely, or were those last couple of songs recorded back in the States?
The last three that were added, so Typical Me, Life's Going Great. What's the other one? Oh, Petty Enemy. I love that one.
Mhm.
Those were actually recorded fully remote.
Oh,
Um, Same guy in London, so the album was produced by the same person the whole way through. Um, but yeah, 9 or 10 of the songs were made in London, and then the other were made solo, like over the phone.
interesting. What was that process
Yeah,
like? Like Zoom kind of things for you?
horrible.
you you
It
you
wasn't
prefer
horrible. It
being
was
in
just that,
person?
oh my God, well, they're 6 hours ahead.
Mhm.
So
Damn.
like I would be going to bed, like working on songs at like 4 in the morning,
Mm.
and that's 10 their time.
Mhm.
That's when they're starting getting in the studio.
Yeah.
So like slept very minimally, and just had like Zoom going on, and kind of an app that kind of shows what they're working on,
Mhm.
through Zoom. And we just did that, and it was so not annoying because the songs, I'm really happy with how they came out. It was just like a unfortunate, not unfortunate. See, my language is weird. Um, but it was not the most convenient way to record, but it's also funny because there's some of my favorite songs on the record.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you think you're gonna try that again for other releases, or is that something like that door's closed, never again?
You know, I think my next release will be like that,
Mhm.
because I had a bunch of songs that didn't make the record. One that I really loved that I wanted to make the record, but didn't get finished in time. So that will probably be my next release whenever I do that.
Hmm.
And that one has been recorded via Zoom. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's something special about waking up every day and going to the studio and everybody kind of being isolated and alone for a month and a half. It's really nice.
Absolutely. And I do think
Yeah.
no sleep kind of is the mantra or whatever of this entire album, because it wasn't it you went over to tour with All Time Low in the UK, and then the album was recorded there, and then you kept flying back and forth in between tours. That's how it went, correct?
Yeah, last year was wild.
Oof.
I couldn't
Wow.
do
Yeah.
it. God bless you. I couldn't do
Yeah.
that.
It was so cool for me though, like that's what I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. So there was not a lick of me that didn't want to do all this travel. It was annoying, yeah. Um, just because like I wasn't seeing my mom or
Yeah.
my dogs,
Yeah.
but like it was so exciting. You know how cool it is to say like, oh, I went to London to record.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's like
awesome.
whenever I heard somebody went to London to record, I was like, oh my God, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
like it was cool. I'll do it again.
Yeah. So kind of
Yeah.
that stressful experience was more or less just I'm fucking doing it. This is it. I made it to this point.
Yes. Super tired,
Of
but
course.
yes. Yeah.
Caffeine came in clutch, I'm sure.
I fell asleep midway through recording multiple times, and I felt pretty bad.
I mean, you
Yeah.
had to get your sleep in one way or another.
Yeah.
Like, come
It
on.
was bad.
So what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Okay, the longest to write actually was, I'll say the longest and the fastest.
Okay.
Um the longest was So Bad. Just because, after that second chorus for about like maybe 6 months, I didn't really know what to do with the song.
Hmm.
And then like we kind of settled on that. Not settled. We kind of like both thought it was a really good idea. Larry, the producer, and I thought to kind of do the so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad.
Mhm.
Just kind of that like high school prom kind of vibe.
Yeah.
We thought that was the vibe for the song. We figured that out, but I tried multiple things for that song over multiple months. The fastest song for sure was "Oh So Blue," just because it's such a real and personal song to me and my friend John. We wrote it in like an hour and a half,
Oh wow.
and
Mhm.
that is one of the favorites. I'm realizing now when people ask me, what's my favorite track on the record, I I say different ones every time, and it's just because I like it so much and like it's so me. And there's not really a song on this record that I don't like, but if there was one, the best one, the most important one is Girl Shaped Crater. That's why we made the video for it. I don't know if you guys saw the video. That's like my proudest kind of thing so far, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love that.
That is my favorite track off the album. I'm so happy it got, the spotlight. Great track, by the way.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Of course.
So how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you write the opener to be the opener, close to be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
It's weird because I'm like an album guy. I really look forward to when people put out albums, and I listen to it all the way through, which I'm getting by the vibe of it. You guys do as well.
Absolutely.
But that's not how most people do it.
I know.
And I feel like a lot of people, including myself, like in the past, I like listen to the first 5 songs, So like, I wouldn't say I put the 5 best first, but I would say that I put like the 5 most commercial ones first. Just like the ones and the most relatable ones. And yeah, I always thought it'd be hilarious to start a record off with the end, which I find very funny because I didn't know, but I found out My Chemical Romance started a record out like that.
Yeah.
Did not know that. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it would be fun. So I put the first 5, like the end, slowly creeped up on me to be one of my favorites. And then we have Typical Me, which I wrote with my idols, which is pretty cool. John Feldman.
Nice.
From Goldfinger.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Girl Shaped, and then Petty, and then I think it's also Blue. So yeah, I definitely put like the most energy and catchy and easy to understand ones up front.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think, in that same vein, like where it, got to focus on commercial and singles and all that shit and keeping people's attention. I also think you did a great job of creating an album experience because there is still that ebb and flow and that vibe, because it's not like front loaded with all the bangers and then all the slow shits on the back end. You've still got that ebb and flow with weaving in the slower songs. So I commend you for that.
Thank you. And I agree, but it's so funny because I put this track list together without listening to it, because transparently, I was a little I was a little frustrated at the world because how non-album minded people are. Because my initial draft for this record was the entire thing in order, like chronologically of what happened. And sonically, it worked. The thing with Pete Wentz never really happened. So that one was a little tough to fit in. But I kind of made it so that, let's call them the fakes. But I appreciate them too. The fakes, that's so mean. I'm not going to call them that. You can keep this in. I'm sorry. I don't know what to call the people listening to this that don't listen to entire albums. Just please start doing that.
Locals, yeah.
Yeah, locals. So I put the first 5 so the locals could hear it. But yeah, with that, like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna put it like for the listener and not for the story. And I was listening once it came out, and I heard the transition from interlude to Too Young. I heard it, and my wife and I started dying laughing. I was like, this is the most ridiculous transition I've ever heard in my entire life. I didn't know where else to put a 3.5-minute drum solo.
I mean, but let's be honest. The drum solo is fucking sick.
It's fire.
Thank you. Thank you. But freaking, and I totally played that. Nobody else helped with that at all.
That was all you?
Just me. Okay. Not a really good drummer came in and did it.
All right.
Of course.
Noted.
But yeah, just going from that into Too Young is almost so wild of a transition. It looks like a humor play. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like if I put that drum solo anywhere else, it would give the same vibe. It was just the stupidest thing I've ever done.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Oh my gosh. Really bad. My wife and I went through some serious troubles, which is where a lot of tracks like Too Young or Funny Enough the End uh
Hmm.
kind of branched from. Um or like So Bad is just coming from depression, but in late 2023, I decided that when I postponed the record, decided to work on myself for a little bit. And, after that, once I wrote Typical Me, Life's Going Great, um, Petty Enemy, even some more songs that didn't make the record. That was a very, my wife and I worked stuff out, started going to therapy, all this stuff. And that mindset for those songs, I feel like you can even hear it in the songs, like it's just different, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Um, I love the sad songs on this record because it's me and it's something I've been through, and I think the songs are great.
Hmm.
But like, I do feel like there's like a gray cloud over those songs, but not in a bad way. There's a gray cloud over my life.
Mm.
Um, but especially with Typical Me, like so like rappy and fun, and it's awesome. And I was in a pretty good headspace for the last bit of this record.
Good. And I
Yeah.
was confused at first when you announced that the record was being delayed because we were both extremely excited to, review it and talk about it to the world.
And we had an interview
Mhm.
about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then when you kind of explained why you were delaying it, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I'm excited to hear, the rest of the story. So I'm happy with the delay, you were able to kind of wrap it up and put a little bow on it and kind of say, this is it finished, and this is the full story. I appreciate that rather than doing like B-sides and making it kind of like an afterthought, I guess. You put the
Yeah.
entire project on pause to just finish it up. And that was just
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. I put my entire life on pause, honestly,
Mm,
and I was really nervous to do that. I think everybody who's involved in games we play was a little nervous to do that. Just
yeah.
because I was coming off of a lot of like really cool stuff, but I feel like when people see me on stage, have either of you guys been to a games you play show or
I
no?
saw you open for
Just
Fallout
Shane.
Boy last summer, and I'll see you on Friday in the city.
Oh, hell yeah. Cool. Okay.
Okay.
I have not had the
Um,
pleasure yet. I'm trying to though. Fuck.
okay. Okay. Yeah, like when you see me play on stage, it's like totally a different kind of vibe than what I'm actually saying in these songs.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to give people the full games you play experience, and a lot of people understood and were really supportive. And again, I was really scared, so I just want to give a shout out to all my fans that were like, go in and put Emmyn first, and I'm thankful for that.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends and dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Ooh. I would say this is a car album.
Mm,
Don't
for
go over
sure.
the speed limit, but
Okay.
but you should go over the volume limit in the car.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got
Okay.
some of my yeah, I got some of my favorite collaborators to help with this record. Like in music, there's like mixing, which is like fixing the sound of everything and making it sound big and all this stuff. And I got two of my favorite mixers in the world to do it. Neil Avron and Claudius Mindorfer. He's got a crazy name. And they have mixed some of my favorite songs, like High Hopes by Panic, or like the MGK record, or the new Fall Out Boy record. Like
Hell
it's
yeah.
I got it. I'm so lucky, and I'm so thankful to my label that like we made this record also sound really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a record you go in the car on volume max when there's no more numbers to go. You know?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Real,
Okay.
vulnerable, and loud.
That's
Hell
good.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Like especially with tracks like The End or All My Untalented Friends or Naked, it's just like full blaring, like guitars as loud as possible. You
Yeah.
know?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I don't know. I mean, I spoke about myself a lot. Like, unfortunately, with songs like Round and Round, like a lot of people have told me they related to that. um, which I don't like, but I guess I'm glad that it's a song that people can relate to. Yeah, I don't know. Just like listen to the words because I put a lot of time into them. Me and my
Mhm.
friends put a lot of time into them, and hopefully there's something that like speaks to you through this record, whether it's to to laugh or to cry or to just know a little bit more about me. It's just like pay attention.
Yeah, yeah. What I
For
like
sure.
from this record is that, like, if you pay the slightest bit attention to what's going on in the lyrics, you can pick up on it. Like, you're not trying to hide in any of these songs what the songs and the entire album is about. And, you don't see that every day. There's artists that try to hide everything behind a metaphor, and you're not trying to do that on this album. You're very to the nose about what's going on.
Hmm.
That's who I am as a person. Like I have super bad OCD, so I can't really like tell a lie about things because I'm like freak out because I know I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
like ever since I've been a little kid, I've just been like freakishly honest and just talking about my whatever is like sad or dark or scary or insecure, and like I just talk about it. And I don't know, I think that's how I made a lot of my friends, and I think that's how I made a lot of my fans.
Hmm.
Um that's just who I am.
Love it. Hell yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because of that, because when you're writing, you're unable to kind of hide behind, I don't want to say like a facade, but just, hide behind anything. You're just completely honest. Do you get anxious sharing some of these songs because it's just 100% you?
I get scared a little bit that some people are gonna judge
Hmm.
me or people the album is about, but
Hmm.
like also in that sense, like I'm being honest, I've gotten through a lot of shit and I've been through a lot of shit, and towards the end of last year it like I really started working on everything. And like, no, I'm not ashamed for anybody to know. I'm not ashamed for anybody to think things because if they think things, then freaking they're not part of the crew. And if they're not part of the crew, then I don't care, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Damn right.
yeah, the people that are at my shows, they get it, and we do it together.
Hell
For
yeah.
sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
No, I mean the only thing I can really think is that I went with my gut on writing with friends. The only song that's like not with friends now they're my friends. Was Typical Me because that one was like I went into a room with somebody, new people, but and just wrote a song. But now now I made the decision to like write with my friends, and that was something that was very, that stood out that I did. That was very cool to me, and I'm proud that I did that, and I'm proud that I went with my gut and I didn't go with the people that write the biggest hits. And maybe I will in the future. I'm not sure. That's what I wanted for this record because I feel like the past 8 years of my life has been leading up to this, even though I haven't been working on it for the past 8 years of my life. I just feel like it was all kind of leading up to this, so I was pretty stern on just me and my friends doing it. And my
Yeah.
label's favorite song on the record, either Girl Shaped or Petty Enemy, there's like I think they're the best writers in the world, but like there are like much more like success not I don't want to say successful, that's not the right word. There are like much more like known writers, but
Mm-hmm.
like my record label's favorite song on the record was Me and My Friends. And I believe that me and my friends one day will be freaking writing the songs that make them big writers and make me
Damn
a
right.
big artist.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm really happy I did it with my friends.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Love
Yeah.
it. So, since you're on tour right now, we got to ask, what's your go-to snack at a gas station for a rest stop?
I don't know because I'm trying to live that healthy life right now. Um, right now it's I get a water, spring
Hmm.
water, a Sprite Zero, and a Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch bar. Either
Ooh.
peanut butter and jelly or chocolate peanut butter. But like if I'm being a bad, bad, bad boy, I love Doritos nacho cheese, and I
Ooh.
probably will get that at some point on this tour.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Irvine, isn't that the guy, not Kitchen Nightmares, the other guy who like wrecks fucking kitchens and restaurants and builds it back up again? Am I thinking of the right guy?
He He looks like it because there is a picture of a man on those bars.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know.
so then wait, so do you not know who Robert Irvine is?
No, I know his bars are delicious.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the bar rescue guy, Glory?
Yeah, that's Robert
it's
Irvine,
not-
right?
No.
Who the
His
fuck is
name's
that?
slipping my mind, but it's not that guy. John Tafford.
No,
Yes.
it's Robert Irvine.
Uh-uh.
Wait,
No, it's
I've
John
never heard of.
Tafford.
I don't know who that is.
That's the bar
This
rescue
is so
guy.
bad. Oh my god, I need
Yeah.
to do research
Yeah.
after this. This is a teaching moment, a learning moment. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, please include in the description of this podcast who Robert Irvine is.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
For everybody
I'm
listening.
gonna look.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
And on the topic of food, if your band was a dish, what dish would your band be and why?
Oh my gosh, butter chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We eat so much Indian food.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It's just like, you know what it is? Butter chicken, and this is who I am. Chicken isn't over the top. Butter chicken, always stays true to itself. Nobody tries to mess up butter chicken. Though I did have some artisanal butter chicken the other day, and it was not good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
nasty.
I will say, I'm just like, I don't want to say plain because I don't feel like I'm a plain guy, but like that's kind of my vibe. Like I just like I try to keep it real and I try to stay the same.
Hell yeah. All right.
And I'm fucking delicious.
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
For the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Ooh, drink is a Van Leeuwen's from Los Angeles, a chocolate fudge brownie milkshake
Ooh.
and a Coke. I like Coke. Food, my favorite food. I have no idea. Butter chicken.
Butter chicken still?
Yeah.
that's
Butter
fair.
chicken, rice, garlic naan, veggie samosas, and then a side of French fries.
Oh my god. Damn,
But
you're speaking
the
my
Fre-
language.
Yeah, but the French fries are from this place called Earl's.
Okay. It has to
So
be
I-
those
I-
specific
I-
french fries.
Yes, I get butter chicken from my place in Nashville, and then I get Earl's fries. So good.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds yummy. So if
Yeah.
you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world, like from a movie?
Like a movie, a book, comic book, just kind of like
I would
those.
Yeah. I would love to live in Quahog.
Where's that?
It's Family Guy's
There you go.
town.
that
I want to meet Peter Griffin. Pretty bad.
would
That's
be
good.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
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 And I thought of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Sonic ugly ass yellow.
All right.
Damn right. Yellow's the best color. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, guys, thank you for having me, for real.
Of course. As I said,
Yeah.
that's all the questions I have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Go on the Life's Going Great tour. I'm going to 22 cities across America. And then also listen to Life's Going Great and follow me on Instagram at Games We Play. And hopefully I'll see you at a show.
Hell yeah. All right.
right.
Well, thank you for now. It's been Emmyn from Games We Play, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.